Eminem.
Jay-Z, Eminem, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, Luda.
Nah,
Yes.
All of us are fighting for
right.
one spot. So from 99 to like 2008, 10, it's the hardest era ever to get records.
Units in pimp juicing us.
So basically, I guess the way they chopped it up, if you didn't understand what Nelly was saying, he basically was saying that the 2000s was the hardest, the earlier 2000s was the hardest era to put out music. So basically, that's from 99 to 2010. And he was just basically saying for that number one spot, you had to really be one of them ones. You didn't luck up and get you a number one. You ain't kind of luck up and really kind of like be a one-hit wonder. And I'm trying to really think like, he kind of
is right.
Yeah, because I'm really trying to think when did the one-hit wonder wave kind of really, well, Soulja Boy kind of got in there in between there.
But even still, when you talking about that country grammar, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when he putting this album out and you talking about all the other albums that's out at that same time, you talking about you still had the Outkast, you had everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was still putting music in for you to even reach number one at that time. And people had to actually physically go out there and buy music.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's what makes it 100 times harder for sure. I definitely won't never disagree with that one. I do think that's what make it harder. And then I think if you realistically had to be a star to kind of, I guess, to make your name really mean something, for people to actually pay attention to you, you kind of really had to have hits, and you kind of had to have like
radio buzz.
Yeah, you had to have radio play at that time. And for some of them, like even when he's saying, like some of them had mixtape runs.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, it's like some of them had hits on the radio and also had to do mixtape runs. Like Nelly was kind of blessed where he only had to play the radio game. Mm-hmm. Like his hits was so big that they kind of drove, like that Country Grammar, I think is when it went 2 times. It went, I think it's what one of his albums went diamond, and then the other one may have went like 5 times platinum or something like that.
Might have been Country Grammar.
Yeah, Country Grammar might have went. I think Country Grammar went diamond. So. But I'm trying to think. I think I can't remember off the top of my head. Was Country Grammar more of a slow burn, and then the second album was the one that was kind of like super big for even when Cedric the Entertainer was on there, and he was quoting that is the only people moving units is us, Pimp Juice, and whatever, and M. So basically, what Jay-Z talking about, it was just him, Nelly, and Eminem at that time. So I want to say that was probably towards the second album where it kind of was like doing crazy numbers out the gate. Because of course I'm sure Country Grammar did numbers. I want to say that is the one that went diamond, but I'm sure that burn was a little bit slow. Because you just think about, even like when you're talking about for Wayne, like when you saying the first week album sales was like 1 million, that it wasn't, the Carter 2 didn't do that. That didn't get into the Carter 3 and Carter 4.
Mm-hmm.
So you get what I'm saying? Like sometimes from a lot of them that you had to kind of get a different burn. And even for Wayne to kind of really get that I'm really him type of situation, was Wayne had to really do a whole mixtape era of Wayne before he could even get to the I'm platinum in a week. So think about how much work Wayne had to put in, or even for 50 Cent, how much work 50 had to put in, or even for Jeezy. Like all of them had mixtapes leading up to, boom, here go my big album, my classic album that nobody can deny. Especially for 50 and Jeezy, and because you talking about both of them, it was that 2000 and I want to say like 2003. Did that? When was that? I want to say it had to be 2003.
Well, you talking about with 50 and
Jeezy? Because both of them
Kanye?
albums came out. No, I'm talking about Give Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah, wasn't that the same? That was
that was hell no. That was Curtis. That was way later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it was one of them.
Yeah, 2000. What year was that? Why don't show the year? With this 50 Cent.
When you say the ring, when you say
2003. It was 2003.
When you say the one hit, I think that's when the one hit wonders kind of became popular, when the ringtones, that era. I think that was probably more.
Yeah, but what era was that though? I'm trying to think, because let me just look up Soulja Boy. I'm just trying to figure out what era was Soulja Boy. That was 2008.
Yeah.
No, well, Crank That Soulja Boy was 2007.
So around, like, let's say 6. Probably.
So all the one hit wonders, the big ringtone rappers came after Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy was the one who kicked in the door for that. Mm. So even still, what I'm just saying, just think about that. So even what he's saying is, yeah, realistically, it's still hard to compete. If you saying 2003, you got Get Rich or Die Trying, and you got Jeezy's 101, but both of them still had classic mixtapes leading up to that album. Like Jeezy still got Trap or Die. Nobody won't sit here and argue Trap or Die may be the, outside of Wayne dedication, the biggest gangster grills. Like that was what solidified gangster grills as gangster grills. Jeezy, Trap or Die, and what Wayne probably dedication to. So you sitting here saying like,
how was the Billboard charts then?
we didn't know nothing about that.
No, but no, I'm just saying, like, how did they get their numbers then? I mean, I guess
Because
now
off of
because
actual actual sound scan, and I can even just get y'all free game on just on the story that I know personally. I'm not gonna say the artist or the manager, but I know a local artist back in that day, and this was like when the box was still a thing. They went and just, okay, you sit here, I'm gonna sell these CDs to a mom and pop shop, and I'm just gonna buy all the CDs back, and they just gonna scan them. So now because now I already did all the the proper paperwork. So now when my barcode gets scanned, it goes to Billboard, so they get to sit here and see, oh, this person in DC selling all these songs. Who is this? But that's, of course, at that time, you talking about people still had drug money. Money was kind of flowing a whole lot easier, so it was nothing for somebody to sit here and say, let me go get 100,000 CDs printed up at 50 cents, or maybe let's even say it cost me $1. I spend 100,000 and I'll go get me a record deal. Now I'll get me a song that's played on the box, and I'll get a song that's played on the radio station because I sit here and spent this money for these sound scans. Like, I'm just basically, it's basically almost like I bought the CDs, got them printed up, and I'm just buying them back from the store so they can kind of like draw some attention to the record label, because they're gonna go look and see, oh, what's selling a lot in DC? And they're like, damn, this person sold 100,000 records in DC. Who? And I ain't never heard of this person before. So now that's gonna make them go check on you and sit here, and now you want to go sit here and look for a deal. So I think it is differently. Like I said, you kind of can't argue with Nelly when he sit here and say that was the hardest era of music. Yeah, I believe him, and I do. But at the same time, I was just arguing with a dude on Instagram, not even arguing with him, just kind of going a little bit back and forth when we was talking about because when you get a video and it's going viral, you just keep going on people's algorithm. But he was talking about the Tia Kemp situation with the boss man D-Lo, and he would just sit here saying like, because and this is the crazy thing I learned about men. Sometimes men just don't want to give women no credit. Because I even seen the score on the sports junk, and they posted up, oh, what March Madness is going to have bigger views watch, and and most dudes, and because the scores are really realistically, it's just a regular sports page. They don't really post that many women stuff outside of Caitlin Clark, of course, because it's ran by white dudes. And it was like, who gonna have more people watching, the men's college basketball or women's? And then I seen that, and it was so crazy because Kevin Garnett had a post that was going viral today, and he was like, dog, I can name you at least 5 to 10 girl basketball players in college basketball, but I can't name you 5 dude basketball players right now. And I think and that's the sad thing, I guess, when you see the same way I can be judgmental with the women in the comment section. You still
knew who that dude Drake bought out.
Oh, the Kentucky dude? Yeah, I don't know nobody on that Kentucky team. Don't know nobody to play for the Drake. I mean, they'll play for Duke or none of that. Like, none of those. Like, only dude I know in college basketball right now is the dude from North Carolina, because he's been there for 5 years. And of course, at least even if North Carolina don't make it to the Final Four, they still in March Madness and they still North Carolina. So it's just a team like you kind of familiar with. You may even just glance at the game and just be like, oh, I know who this is. But just going back to the original point of, the dude was arguing. He was just saying, well, what's the name? The dude, Boss Man D-Lo, he been rapping for a minute, because I seen my mixtapes posted, and they was just like, damn, he stayed down until he made it. He been rapping since like 2019, and he had different flows. And you can even tell in his outfits from like when he shot his first video in 2019, he looked like a struggling rapper. And then you can kind of see he started to get his own money. But at the same time, even I watched the interview of his recently, he was just like, I had a job the whole time. I never stopped working. I think he was saying he was doing like truck driving or something. He was just like, I just took my work money and I invested my work money into my music. And of course, I may still be dibbling and dabbling in the streets, but I don't have to rely on the street money, and I don't have to rely on the rap money because I got a job. I'm just still doing both. I'm still doing all three at the same time, and which for most people, you probably got to, especially in this day and age. So I wasn't mad at him. So the dude was like, man, but I don't want to, why are people trying to get this lady credit? But I'm like, all of that, none of that is deniable for somebody to sit here and say, if I've been trying to rap most people don't, you won't understand until you have that breakout moment for yourself. And if you never try to achieve it, you won't understand why. And I kind of respect Boss Man D-Lo for never, like, okay, him and he really never went back and forth with her on social media. Like, they might have had that little moment where he may have said something about her originally, but after she leaked the videos and stuff, he never went back at her. He just said, cool, I'm just going to drop more music. And the music, like, he put out that Mr. Pot Scraper joint, like, that song crank. So it was kind of, and I was telling him, like, a girl wrote on that same post, and she was just like, hey, that's her song, that's his best song. I'm like, I would have agreed with you. This was his best song 2 weeks ago. But 2 weeks later now, he just continuously putting out music, and he's building more momentum where that's not even about to be his biggest song. Don't get it twisted. He's still going to have to perform that song, but that's not going to be his only song that people coming to see him for no more. Because if he performed that Mr. Pie Scraper, I'm Mr. What do you say? I'm Mr. Pump Faker. He Mr. Not Nigga. Not Mr. Like, that shit be cranking, dog. He be going to fuck off. I swear to God. And if you and he make music where it's not, I'm not shooting up, bang, bang. It's get money music. So it's like, and we talked about that probably like a month or so ago. And we just how many rappers now don't even get money music, like where you can just listen to this and be like, no, I can't even listen to this and be broke. I gotta go get me some bread. Like he just make you want to get some money, and that's a lane that's wide open. So when you sit here and say, boom, I'm gonna tackle this lane that's wide open, then cool, I'm gonna have my moment. But just realistically, for this kind of even tied all the way up to finish the Nelly conversation, this era is probably even still harder to break in though, because you got so much new music to come out every Friday. Just in how many people just so quick to sit here and give their opinion on what you listen to. Perfect example, like I said, a homegirl, she literally Friday, probably maybe like 10 o'clock, she DM'd me and was like, oh, where your video at for the song? I'm like, bro, did you listen to the song? You ain't even listened to the song yet, but you already geeking to hear what I gotta say about it, and I don't even got an honest opinion on it yet, and I'm glad I didn't shoot my first opinion on it.
But my question, even when you, I hear you when you say this era because so many people are putting out music, but what do you really consider like breaking out? Like you're a breakout artist, like you're there, like, you know, you at that spot, because everybody's success is different. So even like this, whatever, if we use 40, whatever, what's the name?
Four Baps.
Mm-hmm. So if we just use him, so like even that one song or whatever, the 3 songs he put out, it's getting reached. Nobody knew about me. Now I got all these followers and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
That's because that might be considered success for me.
No, of course. So everybody's success will be different, because I'm sure there's some people where it's like, all right, let's be clear. Like, let's even go back to Nelly, where even with the Saint Lunatics, Murphy Lee was never big as Nelly, but shit, Murphy Lee had he had a run for a second. Like Murphy Lee had him some jokes, and the girls used to go crazy over Murphy Lee. So like you said, so judging success, where it's like, if I'm Murphy Lee, do I say my career wasn't successful? Because if I'm comparing it to the rest of the Saint Lunatics, hell yeah, my career was successful. And if I'm comparing it to Nelly, hell no. But how many people can actually compare to Nelly? What, The Game, Lil Wayne, Eminem? And ain't too many people that didn't went diamond. The Game, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, Cardi B now, it's only a handful of people. You talking about even 20-something years later, it's still only a handful.
Do Rick Ross got one?
Of what?
A diamond.
Rick Ross don't even got a platinum album.
For real?
Hell no. Nigga, Rick Ross and that's why
he may got singles. He gotta have singles.
No, he got probably some diamond singles, but we talking about albums? Hell no. Nigga, Rick Ross don't own a platinum album. Rick Ross barely got gold albums under his belt. Because he's never been, and don't get it twisted.
He wasn't out in that era.
Yes, he was. He came out right after Jeezy, the year right after Jeezy.
And that's why I'm thinking that was the first one, right? Well, Hustle.
We're Hustling.
That ain't go platinum.
That song may have done, but not the album.
Put him out. Oh no, I gotta look at that one.
Nigga, that album was mid as hell. I remember I used to argue with Dwight and Mike Nice about, because they was huge Rick Ross fans, and you know I was gone off Jeezy, and I'm like, nigga, he only had that song. Like, go look at that album. That album wasn't crazy. Like, his album bag, Ross really probably didn't get into his album bag super crazy, with people kind of really giving him some credit, like nobody could kind of deny. It was like Teflon Don.
I don't even know if I even like that one. That's the one with the hat. He had the hat on.
No. Teflon Don, the joint it's just the suit. Like, it's just and it's like cut off at his neck. It's like his neck down with him the suit on.
Yeah.
And they got that. I want to say it was that Mafia. Is that Maybach Music 5 on there? I think.
Well, what is that? The one with Kanye on there, or the one with Wayne in there?
Hold on, we can look. Rick Ross, what was that? Teflon Don. Oh no, not Teflon Don. Deeper Than Rap. My bad. Deeper Than Rap. But Teflon Don, people was gone. So Deeper Than Rap came out in 2009. That's with the Mafia Music joint. Maybach 2 with T-Pain and Lil Wayne on there. Magnificent with John Legend. Rich Off Cocaine. He had a joint with Fox. So, yeah, like I said, even for some of them songs, it was just like he started off strong, but I don't know all these joints towards the end. But like that Mafia Music, I know that was like, that's one of his standout tracks off that album. When did Teflon Don come out? Teflon Don had I'm a Star, Freemason with Jay-Z, Maybach Music, what he was at 3, that was T.I., Jadakiss, but he had MC Hammer, BMF, Ashton Martin Music. Yeah, so like I said, Teflon Don was probably easily most people's favorite Rick Ross album, or at least the album that people solidified Rick Ross with mainstream. Some of his big BMF is still probably his biggest song to this day. And the Ashton Martin joint with Drake and
Port of Miami did go platinum.
Yeah, probably years now, nigga. We talking about what's that, 20 years?
It's at 2016.
It just went platinum? So yeah, so
2016.
And it came out in what, 2006? So you talking about it took 10 years to go platinum, nigga? When we talking about Jeezy and 50 Cent, they was going platinum off the gate. Jeezy went 2 times platinum before he even dropped his second album.
I think that's his only one.
That's my point.
Yeah, the rest of these are singles.
Yeah, so that's my point.
Yeah, that was his only one.
So that's why I'm saying that's why you kind of got to respect what Nelly's saying. But I'm just saying this era ain't easy neither, because to get people to even care about you from social media, to sit here and get people to even care about you, if I'm just first time I'm hearing about you is via a video on Instagram or TikTok, to get people to still even click your link, yeah, that's not easy, dog. And if you're one of them people who don't got no connection, you can't get on the Apple Music or you can't get on the Spotify, it make it a lot harder. Not saying I can't sit here and say which era is harder or easier. Was it probably more legit competition in Nelly's era, and that from that 99 to 2010? Absolutely. Because think about it, in that era was Chief Keef. 2010 was Chief Keef. So like I said, I'm not mad at Nelly for that situation. Like I said, I agree with him, but I'm not gonna sit here and make it like it's easy to just upload music now, and just because you can upload it don't mean people won't listen to it.
That's facts.